She's a diver, explorer, and backpacker.
Now I'm focusing on YouTube, creating videos on travel, and trying to help people who are really looking to do budget travel and get into adventures and all sorts of stuff.
Her content shows you how to really explore.
I'm at least consistent and posting weekly, but at times I miss posting, but then I try my best doing so.
NewsX influencer A-list proudly recognizes Radhika Sharma for influence in travel content creation.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Influencer A-List. I'm Arti Krishnan. With me, I have Radhika Sharma, who is a travel content creator. Now, she has created content traveling around the world, and she does this full time. Let's invite her and understand how she does it all. Thank you for joining us, Radhika. Now, firstly, tell us about your travel experience and how you got into content creation.
So I was actually working full time. I worked full time for 3.5 years in a corporate setup. I was a business research analyst, but that kind of job wasn't working well for me. So I quit my job back in 2018, started doing YouTube and Instagram full time. And it has been a very interesting journey. It has been I've been able to explore so much because of this and traveled outside. Of course, COVID came and there was like a huge full stop and a huge hold in it. But yeah, this has been majorly my journeys. And now I'm focusing on YouTube, creating videos on travel and trying to help people who are really looking to do budget travel and get into adventures and all sorts of stuff.
That's interesting, Radhika. One thing I wanted to ask you was, since you said that you're doing content creation full time, right? There must also be the stress of having to put out content, regularly and keep your, social media calendar going. When that happens, how do you then manage it while also traveling? So do you then record a bunch of things when you're traveling and then you put them out, or how does that work?
So I try to manage both the things. So Instagram is usually on the go, so it's not that difficult. You can post everything on the go, but YouTube takes a lot of effort because it is a long format content. So you have to shoot a lot and you have to spend at least a day or two in editing. So right now I'm actually looking to expand my team and hire a couple of people, hopefully, who can edit videos for me. But for now, what I do is I try to manage my weekend in such a way that, let's say, if I'm traveling 4 days, then at least there are 2 days of break in between, and I can sit in some hotel or in my Airbnb and focus on editing and that storyline. And if it's a long-term travel, then I plan my videos or edit it well in advance so that I'm at least consistent and posting weekly. But at times I miss posting, but then I try my best doing so.
Okay, Radhika, why don't you tell us one of your best travel experiences?
So I can talk about my recent travel. Actually, I went to Maldives on my birthday, and it was such a wonderful experience because the dive center whom I dived with, their name is Pulido, and we had an underwater birthday celebration where they took me underwater and opened the happy birthday, card, and there were sharks all around and manta rays and stingrays. So it was amazing. And then I came back to my hotel and the hotel people decorated the entire room and everything. So that was something very special, which the locals of Maldives organized for me. And this was very recent and my first international trip after 2 years because of all the COVID and everything. So, yeah.
Speaking about your Maldives trip, you also posted about it, talking about, traveling with a budget and also doing something that's not usually done, things like exploring the culture of where you travel and meeting the locals, trying to learn their culture, trying to see how their day-to-day life works. So how do you then find these things out and then explore them? And tell us how you work. How does the process work?
So it takes a lot of research, to be honest, watching other people online. And especially it's very important to watch the right people online and who are doing similar kind of work, and you can resonate with their form of travel, or you watch YouTube videos, or you read a lot of articles. And once you're reading about it, you get to know so much about the place. For example, Maldives, since we're talking about it, is divided into two set of categories: local islands and resort islands. And of course, resort island is a wonderful experience, but then experiencing the local culture and local life of Maldives is something very different, and something which hardly people talk about, because of course you get to see how locals are living over there. Plus, you can also do budget travel. You don't have to necessarily spend a lakh or 2 lakhs to stay for one night in Maldives. So that was something very unique, and I really wanted to experience it along with the diving site of Maldives. So yeah, a lot of research is one thing that helps.
Talking about another aspect of travel, Radhika, traveling as a woman, there are some things that you need to keep in mind. There are some things that you need to consider. At the same time, the fear of traveling alone shouldn't restrict a woman. You should be able to explore and be just as adventurous as anybody else. So, what would you have to say on that?
My solo traveling was a very slow beginning. I started with my first solo trip to Sikkim. So like any other person, I googled online to find the safest states in India where a woman can travel solo, and Sikkim was on the top of that list. So I thought of going solo, and especially I went to Sikkim alone because none of my friends at that time was willing to tag along with me. So, and I really had that itch to travel somewhere. So I just left, packed my bags, and I did so many mistakes. I remember I booked wrong hotels, did not plan it properly, spent so much money because of my bad planning. And but it was a learning for me, and slowly I grew as a traveler also, because then I understood that how I can manage better and how I can book better, plan better. And yeah, then I went to Italy. That was another solo international trip. And it's basically about practice, because once you are out, you know how you can plan better. Like couch surfing was something which I got to know about and tried it in Italy. And few of the tips that I want to give my fellow travelers, especially females, is something that you should not be afraid. Of course, it scares a lot of people that how the world is outside, because we are perceived that the world is a scary place because of all the news and everything we read. But once people are out, once you go out, you get to realize that people are actually very nice and the world is beautiful. And you just have to be confident. You just need to walk like you know that place. Don't walk like you are so lost and you don't know about that place. And if you are confident, that people who want to approach you with ill feelings might think twice, and that will give you an edge to walk confidently in that place. And yeah, then slowly and slowly you'll learn a couple of tricks here and there, and then you're just good to go.
Radhika, then tell us about, traveling alone in India, because a lot of people have the perception that traveling alone in India for a woman especially is not safe. But you have extensively traveled in India, and you've portrayed how you can enjoy yourself, in fact, and how you can explore as a woman. So what would you say about that?
So for me, there are a couple of tricks that I will tell you people that girls should do. One is, like I said before, you need to be very confident when you are going to a place. So one is that. Second is doing a lot of research to know about the place. For example, while booking an Airbnb, I read reviews online, whether this place is nice and how is the environment like. I read Airbnb's reviews, because if the reviews are not great, then it's one of the things is not to go over there. And good part about being online and researching online is that now you can see pictures. So I saw a lot of pictures to see if this place fits in my vibe. Then did a lot of research to commute from one place to another, how I can do about it. So research plays a lot of role, a big role of it. And then the third part is to have a local contact with yourself. For example, if I'll go to Kashmir, I have a couple of friends over there who can help me. And then there are so many YouTubers now and so many travel bloggers who give local contacts of that particular place. And you can rely on that information because that particular person has already been there and been in touch with that person and has written that review on the basis of their personal recommendation. So you can pick all of these things, get in touch with the local who can help you if you are in some kind of problem, so that if something happens, then that person can have your back. If you are going on a trek, that person will know that you are on a trek, and if you're not back in, let's say, 3 to 4 days, then they have to find you, or they need to get back to that local person, the local contact, so that they can help you in some kind of problem.
So how do you then come about these deals? Do you first travel there and then figure out that this is the best way, this is the best deal, and then you post it? Or do you then do extensive research first and then try out various deals and then come to the conclusion?
So I think I have changed as a traveler also. Initially, I used to do a lot of research because I was very new into this. So I used to watch a lot of videos, or look for, like, one of the ways to find cheaper hotels is go to booking.com, put a filter of that price filter, and you'll get the cheapest options. I used to do all of that, and I had like a budget in my head, and I had to manage in that particular budget, like a weekend trip in 3,000 rupees or something of that sort. But now I have shifted to long format kind of travel, where I like to stay in a particular place for a month and soak in that place properly, visit it slowly, like a slow kind of travel. So now I don't do that much research. I just reach a particular state or place, and then I see how to go about it or how to explore. Now it's basically a whole new spectrum of travel. But because of COVID, many people are getting into this kind of travel also, long format travel, and it's nice to see that they are trying to find workstations, doing work from mountains. So it's a mix of both the things for me right now.
Right, that's interesting that you brought it out. Do you think that a long vacation, or a long travel, a slow format travel, like you said, is better than doing those quick vlogs or quick travels that most people or most YouTubers were accustomed to before? What would you prefer?
Yeah. Now I'll prefer slow travel for sure, because I have realized that you get to know so much about that place. Plus, you are not impacting so much individually, as in your lifestyle or your body or your food habits are changing constantly when you're doing fast travel. But when you're in a particular place, your body is resting out, and you're seeing that place slowly and nicely and getting to know about that place better. I have the luxury to do this because I'm doing this full time, so I can do this, but not everyone can do this. People are working 9 to 5 and have their day jobs. So for them, I understand. But for me personally, I will prefer slow travel.
Right. All right, Radhika, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experiences, sharing your thoughts and insights on travel itself. Kudos and all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.